Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Motorsports, episode 5. As you can see, got an upgrade. We got another one over here. New light. It's pretty cool. They look good. Hope so. Getting right into it. IndyCar this week. IndyCar NASCAR double at Phoenix. IndyCar was really a great race. One of the better short oval races I've seen in a couple years. It started out pretty hectic with Palou and VK crashing. Well, it's not exactly how it started, but that was in the beginning. And I saw some debate online about who that was on, and I think fault should really be put on Palou's spotter more than Palou himself or either of the drivers in particular. But another thing is that really shook up the championship, and I think it's gonna come in the coming weeks. Going back to a street circuit next week, where Palou is likely to have the upper hand over Newgarden or some of the other guys. It's gonna be almost a home race for Pato. I know they couldn't quite get Mexico done this year, so this will probably be by proxy the closest race to his home. Hopefully that'll be good for him. Shake up the championship a little more. In other news about Phoenix this weekend, Rasmussen looked crazy fast, and I mean, I know we all saw he did it Milwaukee last year, his maiden win, but this was like serious. This was, you need to pay attention to this guy. So I'm starting to wonder if he's really becoming like a new Newgarden, just a short oval special, like a ringer. I mean, he's insane, ridiculously fast. So that's definitely something to look at. Towards the end of the race, I think it's really cool to look at the Newgarden's car and Pato's car. Both had great strategy calls to put tires on the last caution there when Power hit Rasmussen out of the race, or not out of the race, but out of contention, which was really, I just felt so bad for Rasmussen, especially seeing his interview after. He was gutted, is the only way I could say, and it sounds really British, so sorry about that. But yeah, so that was great strategy by them. I honestly at the time thought that was not the right move. I thought the track position was definitely the more important thing at that moment, but that's why I'm not a race strategist. So yeah, that was awesome. They just drove through the field. I mean, there's nothing anybody could do to really slow them down. Once Newgarden got in front, I think he won by like 3-4 seconds. It was unbelievable. The only thing I will say that's negative about this race was that the pylon, the scoring pylon, did not work for a good part of it, which I was okay with. I mean, obviously I would have preferred it to work, but it wasn't going to be like, oh my God, I can't watch this race. This is so bad. The only reason I am concerned at all is because hopefully there was a lot of new eyes on this race because it was the double with NASCAR, like I said. So that hopefully didn't deter too many people. The ratings were up a lot from last year. They were up from 890 something thousand to 1.2 million. I think that is in large part because of how close this race and St. Pete were together. I also think that it was just a great show. I mean, a short oval, and IndyCars on a short oval is never going to disappoint. It's just a proven formula. It's awesome. But the NASCAR race was also really good. Blaney won. Reddick, I think, still got a top 10, so he's probably fine. Yeah, so just overall in Phoenix, it was a great weekend. I saw somebody say online it was like a celebration of American motor racing, and I think that was a really good way to put it. It was two of the premier series in the U.S. really showing what they had at a track which has been built up a lot in the recent years, like kind of coinciding with the regrowth, like the reemergence of motorsports in the U.S. So I think it was a really good event, and I hope they do it again in the coming years. If not next year, would be great. One more IndyCar news. I'm not doing top 3 overtakes of the week. I'm sorry. I have an exam tomorrow. I don't really have time to draw it. That's on me. Sorry. But one thing that did get announced that I have to talk about is the DC layout, which I did not think this race was going to happen. In no way I thought I was like, it's just not feasible. There's not enough time. It can't happen. But, I mean, I was proven wrong. Again, I seem to be proven wrong a lot. Probably shouldn't be listening to me. Yeah, it's a simple layout is definitely a way to put it. But I think that simple layouts are definitely that provide better racing. I mean, you don't have as much to worry about other than the guy you're racing with, So there's quite a few passing zones. I think there's 3 passing zones. It's going to be free to the public, at least last I heard. So it should be a great event. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, that should be great. Moving on to F1, their new regulations debuted this weekend officially, like in a race. And there were some issues. So in qualifying, Verstappen decided he didn't really want to do the session and just crashed into the barriers. That was going to set up for his race, which he was starting last, which, a win was off the cards. But I don't really know if it was anyway, because Mercedes just looked dominant all weekend and all race. And they are good. They're definitely going to be something to worry about for the rest of the grid. I don't really foresee any big threats other than Ferrari, who looked pretty okay. The beginning of the race was definitely very interesting. It was the first time people got to really see the cars running next to each other with the clipping that was discussed, which is where the cars just slowed down so much on the straights, and it just looks weird. I mean, it's really just manufactured entertainment. I think I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't like that it's manufactured, but I do like that there's passing in F1. I don't think it's any better than DRS was. And I don't know. I've heard Australia is going to be one of the tracks where it's more noticeable at, so I'm hoping, well, next week China is going to be worse, but I'm hoping in the future it's going to be less noticeable and the races should be more enjoyable moving forward. My last note is that F1 put out this tweet that was like, look how many passes we had, we're so awesome. And then IndyCar put out this tweet that was like, yeah. So on that, it's a short oval, they're going to have more passing. It's IndyCar, it's going to have more passing. But I don't think that should be the main thing that we're looking at. I think it should be that F1 was censoring how people felt about the new regs, at least according to the community note over here. That's kind of weird. I mean, I understand you're trying to help your perception, but like, people had good things to say. I saw people complimenting the regs, like, this is good, this is better than DRS. I am not really of that opinion. I hated DRS. I kind of hate this. So I think it's going to be interesting going forward to see how public perception keeps going. Like I said, Australia has long straights, so it's definitely not the best for the view. But yeah, that's all I have there. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week.